if you are the kind of person who is family orientated and want to have children and grandchildren and great grandchildren, you probably think at some point, what are you going to leave in your will that will last for generations? I found it. I seriously have found it because this game, Dragoon is going to last for eternity because these pieces are actually real metal. You could kill a person with some of these pieces. John, Jesus, man, why didn't you go for plastic?
So early on in the process, the original designer spoke to us and said, I don't want to use plastic. What else can we use? So as the operations guy and the guy who was figuring out production, I went, oh, shit, okay, let's figure this out. And my family's in the metal business a little bit. So I figured out how to do these pieces. They're a little bit complex. There's some undercuts, but you can do them in metal with a little bit of care. Mm-hmm. So we figured out how to do them. And the reception originally was amazing. Everyone didn't understand why we did it in metal. But it ends up working out because the reaction that we get is so amazing.
Well, understandably, firstly, because when you see metal, it tends to be miniatures and very detailed, everything, yep. And yet you've gone for a very kind of abstract, beautiful sculpting. I absolutely love the sculpting for this. If I saw this in a 3-story tie, I would be so thrilled.
Very large.
I mean,
ones as well.
That's fantastic. But you went further than that because you also have your little castles made of metal, not made of wood like some other people do, and cloth instead of cardboard.
Yep.
Why did you decide to make? I'm okay about the metal because you're content, but why the rest doing it so differently?
It just felt thematically on point. Like we see so many games where you may play as a dragon, but you don't actually feel like you're a dragon, like you're in that time period. And we figured cloth would allow that person to it's something more tactile. And it goes with you have these weird metal components. Why would you just have a cardboard board? Plus, functionally, the cardboard board is going to get scratched to hell. So this works out very well. It's very durable.
Okay, but obviously, all of this is very good and proper, but without a proper game behind it, this would be for nothing. So tell me a little bit about the game. How does Dragoon play?
So the premise of the game is you're one of 4 dragons on this island, and some stupid humans decide to invade your island, which is terrible. But humans have gold. So the goal of every dragon is to get 50 gold for the other dragons by destroying the humans or making them worship them. So it's kind of like a dragon investment plan, you could say. And there's other ways to get gold, like jumping into other dragons' caves and stealing from them. There's a NPC, a non-playable character called the Thief that you can steal gold from. So there's a bunch of different ways that you can get gold on the map throughout the game. And one of the things that we do like, because we have a cloth board and metal pieces and these little baggies, is the score tracker acts as a carrying case as well, because we don't like carrying around bags in our backpack, so we figured let's make the score tracker a little case.
That is amazing. Now, in terms of mechanisms, what does the game have to offer that's unique?
Yeah, so we basically made the game. We're very big fans of big strategy games, but we realized that those aren't very accepting for new players. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to create a game that had those elements, but was more understanding for people that either parents that want to play with their kids, or people that want to get into the hobby that maybe play something like Cards Against Humanity or Monikers or something like that, a lighter game, party game, something like that, but they want to get into a strategy game. So this helps bridge that gap between the really complex, amazing games like Scythe or Gloomhaven, because no one's going to pick up that on their first run. I mean, they could if they're crazy.
But they would have to be crazy.
Exactly. So you can get into something like this, and this will get you the right elements, the right terminology, and then you can graduate to more complex games down the road.
That makes perfect sense. Now tell me a little bit about what you have prepared for the future of the game in terms of sales and distribution, because this is, I'm sure, not an easy game to produce, and definitely not a cheap game to produce.
Exactly, yeah. So the metal version will not be going into distribution. This is kind of going to be our convention-only, something we hold very close to us. Just because it takes so long to make these that if we wanted to go into distribution, we can't do it. We'd be sitting in our bedrooms making metal all day long, so we can't do that. But we do have a plastic version that we kickstarted, and we're going to be going into distribution with that early next year. And then we also have an expansion over here. So if you look, we have 2 human players, a barbarian and a rogue, that play completely different than the dragons. And it adds asymmetrical gameplay, and it increases the play count up to 6, and you can play with any combination 2 through 6. So you could play with just 2 humans, or you can play with 1 dragon, 2 humans, 1 of the humans, a few dragons. So any combination you want. And again, completely different play styles, so it switches things up a lot. So that really helps out, make things a little bit more varied for someone who's used to 4 dragons.
So if there were some crazy soul out there like me who wanted to buy this outside Spiel, how can they get hold of this never to be seen again edition?
If you go to playdragoon.com, you can pre-order it right now, and those are going to be shipping in March, along with the plastic version and the expansions. All of that ships in March. And then, again, conventions, and we're probably going to be selling it a little bit on our website, but our stock is very low, so we want to make sure that people that go to conventions have something a little bit special, because we like going to conventions seeing special things as well.
So you're here in Spiel. Yep. After that, what convention are you going to? Because you're probably going to get a queue of people after seeing this video, because you should.
We are going to PAX Unplugged. We'll be at PAX East, because that's our hometown, back in Boston, Massachusetts. PAX Unplugged's in Philadelphia. Of course, we'll be at Gen Con next year. We'll be at Origins. So we'll be at a bunch of conventions next year. But in the near future, PAX Unplugged, and then PAX East in Boston, Massachusetts.
Okay, so PAX Unplugged, you better be there, because by the time the PAX East arrives, you're not going to have any of those left. I get the feeling. I seriously do.
Making more metal, I'm sure, for sure.
And just in case, he's going to hate me for saying this. That's fine. I can deal with the hate. Just start emailing these people so they produce more of these, so you can actually buy it, so they have no choice, because otherwise you're never going to see this, and you will forever regret it for the rest of your life, and your great-grandchildren will look back in time and wonder why you didn't leave them one of these games in your will. So you better get on with it.